This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
A special election for Florida's House District 2 takes place June 11th. Stand by for a special edition of Rally. Good evening and welcome to Rally. I'm Drexel Gilbert with WSRE-TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast. Coming up 3 weeks from today, there will be a special election to fill the Florida House District 2 seat. This election was scheduled following the death of Representative Clay Ford, who represented District 2 from the time of his election in 2007 until his death March 18th of this year. Ford died at the age of 74 following a battle with cancer. Florida House District 2 covers Gulf Breeze and also Pensacola. Again, the election to fill this seat will be held Tuesday, June 11th. Only registered voters in District 2 will be allowed to vote in this election. Rally is a service of WSRE that allows voters to meet candidates in upcoming races and to hear their answers to questions related to issues that are pertinent to the election. There are two candidates in the special election, a Democrat and a Republican. In the studio tonight is candidate Jeremy Lau. He is running on the Democratic ticket and was unopposed during the primary portion of this election. And we say welcome to Rally, Mr. Lau.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Candidate Mike Hill is running on the Republican ticket after winning the Republican primary election. That took place earlier this month. Mr. Hill was also invited to participate in tonight's Rally program, but he was unable to attend. The questions this evening have been provided to us by the League of Women Voters of the Pensacola Bay area. The candidate has not seen the questions. He will have 45 seconds to respond to each question, and at the conclusion of those questions, he will have an additional 45 seconds for a closing statement. And it is time now to begin the questions. Both the Florida Chamber of Commerce and Associated Industries of Florida supported the Medicaid expansion, citing an increase in new jobs and the prevention of penalties to larger Florida employers who do not offer health insurance. What action do you believe should be taken to address the results of not expanding Medicaid? And Mr. Lau, you have 45 seconds.
Drexel, first I'd like to thank WSRE and the League of Women Voters for putting this event on. I believe it's very important. First, I'd like to say that I support Governor Rick Scott's efforts to expand the Medicaid and the Kid Care program, and I would call on him to call a special session and allow the legislature to go after and bring that $51 billion worth of expansion money home. It would create almost 1,900 new jobs here in the district, jobs that are desperately needed, and those jobs would create other service-related jobs. It kind of perpetuates itself. So I support the call by the governor to expand those programs, and I would hope that he would call that special session.
All right, thank you, sir. Question number 2. Given the fact that 24 death row inmates in Florida have been exonerated partly through DNA since 1973, what is your position on the legislature's recent action to speed up the execution of death row inmates?
If there's evidence that can clear a man wrongfully convicted, then they should have the chance to have that evidence heard in court. Nobody should be put to death wrongfully. That's just a terrible, terrible thing for the state to do. If there's new evidence, DNA evidence that can clear a wrongfully convicted individual, then they should have that evidence heard in court.
All right, thank you, sir. And question number 3. What are your priorities for the legislature to address in the next session?
Obviously, we need to work on infrastructure. In the district, I've been driving around and walking the communities and riding the buses, and we have some very serious infrastructure needs here in the district. We have streets that need to be paved and drainage issues that impact businesses, such as Baptist Hospital. So, infrastructure needs for the district are important, and education especially. We need to treat our teachers with respect and put our children in schools that are safe and ready for them to go to school and learn. Too many of our children are going to school in portable trailers that are not safe, and they're not adequate places for children to learn every day.
All right, thank you. And moving along now, we come to question number 4, and a reminder that our questions tonight were provided by the League of Women Voters, Pensacola Bay area. Question number 4, recognizing that many students who are graduating from high school are not prepared for college, what is your opinion of establishing more technical programs to help students prepare for jobs?
Well, there are many job fields that don't require a college education, and for our schools to embrace those technical fields and put children in a technical training program that will allow them a marketable skill upon graduation from high school, I'm all for that. And I think it's an important aspect of our education program in this state. Many kids will be able to earn very good wages without going to college. I'm not down. I'm a college graduate. I went to UWF, but there are some kids that just, that when they finish high school, they want to go out and work, and we should prepare them for that.
All right, thank you. And we are about halfway through the question and answer session of tonight's special rally program. We will pause for a moment, and as we do that, we're going to give you information on early voting in Escambia County. Information on Santa Rosa County will come a little bit later in the program. Also ahead, a message from Pensacola State College President Dr. Ed Meadows. You're watching Rally on WSRE-TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast.
Early voting for the Florida House District 2 special general election is from Saturday, June 1st through Saturday, June 8th. Early voting locations in Escambia County are at the Supervisor of Elections office at 213 Palafox Place, the Tryon Branch Library at 1200 Langley Avenue, and the Southwest Branch Library at 12248 Gulf Beach Highway. Early voting times in Escambia County are from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. Early voting times on Monday, June 3rd through Friday, June 7th are from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and on Saturday, June 8th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. On the day of the special general election, Tuesday, June 11th, voting takes place at your District 2 polling location from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. You must vote in the precinct in which you live and are registered. Make sure to take your photo and signature ID with you. For additional information, log on to escambiavotes.com.
There is nothing more important to our democratic process than having an informed electorate voting on Election Day. Good evening. I'm Ed Meadows, President of Pensacola State College, thanking you for tuning into this special election edition of Rally, a joint presentation of the League of Women Voters, WSRE-TV, and Pensacola State College. Rally allows you the opportunity to watch and listen as the candidates answer the tough questions concerning the needs of our community. WSRE, a service of Pensacola State College, is proud to bring this program to you as a public service, and as always, we invite your comments and suggestions about how we can further fulfill our community obligations. Let's all remember the importance of participating in the governance process by voting in the upcoming election.
Welcome back to Raleigh as we look ahead to the special election that has been called to fill the seat for Florida's House District 2. This seat became vacant in March following the death of Representative Clay Ford. Democrat Jeremy Lau and Republican Mike Hill are on the ballot for this election. Mr. Lau is in the studio with us tonight. Mr. Hill was also invited to participate in this question and answer session of Raleigh, but he was unable to attend. And Mr. Lau, it is time now for us to move ahead, and we are moving on to question number 5. And again, a reminder to our viewers that the questions this evening are provided to Raleigh by the League of Women Voters of the Pensacola Bay area. And question number 5 is, Florida is repeatedly identified as the most vulnerable state in the country to the effects of the sea level rise and increased severity of storms as a result of climate change. What policies would you propose to address these issues?
Well, first, climate change is going to be a serious issue for the entire country, not just Florida. And obviously with as many low-lying areas and wetlands, especially in this district that we have, it can be a real concern. Some of the issues, I'm opposed to offshore drilling. We've seen our fair share of what happens when offshore drilling is done poorly and without proper equipment and proper testing. And I would support efforts to move to a more climate-friendly type energy source. The technology is there and just needs to be supported.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lau. And now the next question that we have for you, what is your opinion of allowing a majority of parents of children in a failing school to determine whether or not the school becomes a charter school?
I'm not for turning private or public schools over to private companies for profit. When you start teaching children, and that's the priority. These companies are going to have to make a profit somehow, and where are they going to get their profits from? Ultimately, it's going to be the children in the schools that lose. If the schools are failing, that would be, I would think, the job of the administrators and the principals in that schools to be held accountable, and the parents should be asking the administrators to come in and improve that school, not turn that school over to a for-profit corporation that's going to take their profits out of our children.
All right, thank you. And the final question for this evening's special edition of Raleigh, 25% of the people in the United States who cannot vote due to previous felony convictions reside in the state of Florida. What would you do to reduce the time and complexity of the process to restore the right to vote to those who have completed their sentences? Mr. Lau?
Drexel, we in America have a tradition of allowing people to move on with their lives. And if somebody has violated the law and they have served their time, they should have their rights restored. In Florida, if you get convicted of a felony, when you completed your sentence, you still do not have the right to vote. Well, that makes every sentence a life sentence. And once you've completed your time and you've served your sentence and made your restitution to society, your rights should be restored. 1.3 million people in Florida can't vote. That's the highest in the country, and it's unacceptable.
All right, thank you. And that concludes the question and answer segment of tonight's Raleigh program. The closing statement is just ahead. But first, a few moments ago, we gave you information on early voting for Escambia County, now information on early voting for Santa Rosa County. You're watching Raleigh on WSRE-TV, PBS for the Gulf Coast.
Early voting for the Florida House District 2 special general election is from Saturday, June 1st through Saturday, June 8th. Early voting locations in Santa Rosa County are at the South Service Center in Gulf Breeze and the main office administrative complex in Milton. Early voting times in Santa Rosa County are from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. Early voting times on Monday, June 3rd through Friday, June 7th are from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and on Saturday, June 8th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. In Santa Rosa County, this election applies to precincts 22, 25, and 32. On the day of the special general election, Tuesday, June 11th, voting takes place at your polling location from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. You must vote in the precinct in which you live and are registered. Make sure to take your photo and signature ID with you. For additional information, log on to www.santarosa.fl.gov/elections.
Welcome back. It is now time for the closing statement portion of Rally. Jeremy Lau is the Democratic candidate. Sir, you have 45 seconds for your closing statement.
I'd like to thank the constituents of Pensacola and Gulf Breeze for giving us this opportunity. I would like to say that, I'm also a military veteran of 10 years. I've been decorated. I'm a former school teacher, and I will work very hard for the men and women of District 2. Not just the privileged, not just the lobbyists and special interests. I'm going to go to Tallahassee and represent everybody in the district that has a concern. I ask for your vote. I want your vote. I need your support. And I look forward to the next few weeks of continuing to go around and meet the people and constituents of District 2. Thank you very much for this moment.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lau. And a reminder again, there is a Republican candidate in this election. Mike Hill won the primary earlier this month, and he was invited to participate in Rally, but was unable to attend. That just about wraps up tonight's Rally program. Once again, the Florida House District 2 special election will be June 11th and is open to registered voters in District 2. Early voting will begin Saturday, June 1st and run through Saturday, June 8th. The information on early voting has been on your screen. If you need more information, you can go to these websites. In Escambia County, it is www.escambiavotes.com. If you're a District 2 voter in Santa Rosa County and you need more information, go to www.santarosa.fl.gov. That does it for this edition of Rally. Our thanks to the League of Women Voters for providing tonight's questions. Thank you very much for joining us and for making us a part of your voting experience. Have a great evening.
Catherine Jenkins, Chris Mann, Alfie Bowe, the National Symphony Orchestra, my co-host Gary Sinise, and me, Joe Mantegna. Join us for a night to remember.
Coming in May, only on WSRE.
Welcome to Your Florida Lawn, the environmentally friendly